On February 24th, 2022, Russia started attacking Ukraine. It started what Russian government called the special military operation against Ukraine. In reality, Russia started the war. In March of 2022, on March 8th, Vladimir Putin publicly promised basically, announced to all of us, entire Russia, that there will be no mobilization and Russian army is strong, professional, and capable enough of reaching all the goals of the special military operation without mobilization. 6 months later, on September 21st, Vladimir Putin signed presidential decree order of the mobilization. Without any explanations or apologies, basically lied to all the Russians. And he didn't explain the reasons why he did that. Mobilization was announced and it started being executed. Active phase of this mobilization lasted for about a month, and then in late October, conscription, which is a usual planned procedure in Russia and happens twice a year, in spring and in fall, started. It replaced mobilization. The biggest question, and conscription usually lasts for about 6 weeks, and it lasted throughout December. So the biggest question right now is, will there be the second wave of mobilization, as they call it in Russia? I call it Mobilization 2023. If Mobilization 2023 happens, when it happens, how it happens, who will be mobilized, and so forth. This is basically the biggest and the most important question in Russia, and the air is so thick with expectation of mobilization, upcoming mobilization, so thick with stress that regular people assume that you can take a knife and cut air with it. But if you think that Russian government will come out and announce official mobilization again, if you think that Vladimir Putin will address the nation again, saying, oh, there's new mobilization, you're wrong. It will not happen like this. It will not happen publicly. Moreover, I dare to say that Mobilization 2023 has already started. Howdy, everyone. My name is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia, where I give you news updates, daily happenings in Russia, daily developments, my opinions, my takes. I explain usual Russia explained by the unusual Russian on this channel, and that is me. Mobilization is such a hot topic right now. Such important topic, such crucial topic for both Russians and Ukrainians, that basically everyone is talking about it. I did a live stream. Well, I've been following all these developments and events starting February 24th, and of course, Mobilization 2022 affected me personally, directly. I was a subject of this mobilization, and there was a possibility of me being called up in order to go and kill Ukrainians. I would never do that, so I got up and left Russia. And at this point, it's looking like I left forever. Like many other people who fled in September and October. So, this is personal for me. I've been following, I've been studying, I've been researching, I've been digging deep, and so forth. And I'm going to share some thoughts of mine, some research that I've done, some small details that only seem small on the surface, but in reality they're huge. And I will give you quite a few of these details so they can be assembled into a larger picture. And you will understand why I was so sure to say that mobilization was about to start on January 17th. Well, it has already started, basically, and I will explain how. Without further ado, I'm not going to keep you waiting until the end of the stream. I'm going to give you four things, major things, four reasons why I think that mobilization is bound to happen. It's inevitable. And why I think that it has already started happening. Now, there are four major reasons. First is mobilization in Russia started on 21st of September of 2022. But the trick is it never ended. Not too many people pay attention to the fact that there is no document, official document, signed by the president, by the person who started mobilization. There's no document signed that ends mobilization. There is a procedure according to Russian law. President has a right to announce mobilization, okay? No question about that. But there's a procedure. Mobilization is announced, it starts with a presidential order that describes, the details of the mobilization, and it ends with a presidential order to end the mobilization. In late October, 1 month, about 5 weeks after the start of mobilization in September, Vladimir Putin came out and publicly said that the goals of mobilization were met, that mobilization is over in Russia. And people started demanding, well, give us the document. Put your signature on the paper. And he kept silent. He always keeps silence. He doesn't care about speaking to us, reaching to us. His press secretary, Dmitry Peskov, said that after consultations with legal professionals, with attorneys, the president decided that there's no need to sign such document. Who do they think we are? We're stupid or something? Well, this is number one. Not a document that ends mobilization officially. Mobilization, according to the Russian law, legislation, is still undergoing. The reason number two, right before the end of the year, a couple of weeks ago, Vladimir Putin took part in a meeting of Ministry of Defense, extended board meeting, so to speak. Top military leadership gathered, and Vladimir Putin spoke and delivered some points. And Vladimir Putin was not the only speaker. There were other top military personnel, including Sergei Shoigu, who recommended that Russian army needs to be increased by 350,000 people, professional soldiers, professional personnel. Vladimir Putin agreed. He said, okay, I agree to that. So it is official. Russian army will increase at least by 350,000 people. And this increase will not happen, next year, year after next year. It'll happen soon. As reason number two. Reason number three, first phase of this mobilization was simply not enough. They're saying that they were around 300,000 people mobilized, but in reality, who knows? I've heard rumors of much larger number, and a lot of people who were mobilized, they were put into a very short training. Some say few days, some say couple weeks, some say 3 weeks, and thrown to Ukraine, flown to Ukraine and ordered to kill Ukrainians. The thing is, this action, this inflow of Russian troops, it didn't break the situation. It did not change the tide. It slowed down the advancement of Ukrainian army. That's it. It didn't do anything else. Therefore, this first phase, this officially 300,000 people who have been mobilized, they're simply not enough. And number four, Russian president and people around him who started the war, they desperately need to show success, some kind of a success. Because without success, the situation is getting worse by the day for them and for Russia and for Russians, for all of us, okay? Every single day it gets worse. Make no mistake about it. They need to show that they're some kind of victorious. The only victory they can achieve is by overwhelming Ukrainians by a great deal, because they don't have any other means to do an effective warfare these days. They can only mobilize more people and throw them to the front lines just to overwhelm the Ukrainians. That's it. So these four reasons convince me that there will be a huge mobilization in the very near time. At first, I thought that this would start right after the New Year, during New Year holidays. It would have been a perfect timing, because quite a few Russian men returned for the holidays thinking that they're safe and that they would not mobilize because everyone's on vacation. That would be the perfect timing to grab them. And I think that the only reason it didn't happen is the Ukrainians interfered. Ukrainian Ministry of Defense stepped up and said, and he basically addressed Russian men, warning them that there would be a mobilization announced on the 5th of January. You see, if it was announced after all, then the Russians would show that they're absolutely weak and they're absolutely infiltrated by Ukrainian intelligence. And they just, Ukrainian intelligence knows beforehand what is about to happen in Russia. So, of course, they couldn't do that. So they had to bump it up. But the thing is, they cannot bump this date up by a lot, okay? They are about to start this thing, and they have started already. And right now, I'm about to share you the science, how I know, and what makes me think that the mobilization, what makes me so sure that mobilization has already started. Well, first of all, the biggest and the strongest indication that mobilization has started, before I jump into the science, let me tell you this. If you think that Vladimir Putin will come out and announce another mobilization, let's say January 15th, 17th, 25th, I don't care, pick any date. Just like he did on September 21st, you're absolutely wrong. He will not do that. If you think that Russian Ministry of Defense would do some public announcements, you're absolutely wrong. They will not do that. No one will make this thing public. Moreover, a Russian government will try to, well, they already have learned from their mistakes, and they will try to make this second phase of mobilization as silent and as stealthy as possible. Because the first phase made quite a stir in the Russian societies. You have all heard of mobilization centers being set on fire by anonymous people, Molotov cocktails thrown at night to mobilization centers and so forth, And in general, there's been, an, I can't say unrest, but definitely public dissatisfaction with the mobilization. So the government, Russian government, it makes mistakes, but you know what? It learns from its mistakes. And I think it's learned a great deal. And one of the biggest signs, small sign, but hugely important, is Vladimir Putin on November 25th signed presidential order, ordering KGB to make a consolidated database of all men subjects to mobilization and, so to speak, take all databases, tax revenue service, Ministry of Education, health records, and so everything that exists in digital form for a Russian person, for a Russian man, was put together into one huge super database. I said it before, Vladimir Putin ordered to do it by April 1st, but April 1st is just smoke over water because it was done before the end of the year. And that is learning from the mistakes. So what they're going to do is they're going to start very slow, well, perhaps not slow, but very silently and very stealthy. I am waiting for this huge, huge sign. Basically, it's like when you turn a car key ignition in the car on, the silence, and then all of a sudden you can hear engine running. This event of turning the ignition on would be Russian government starting to close in Russian borders. And guess what? It has started. They decided to take a stepping stone approach, and it's actually a very smart way. And they've decided to close down borders for people who have debts outstanding, who have debts under collection, and who have debts of child support. Those people are the first ones as subjects of mobilization. Some of them, the borders already closed for. This is a Russian law. If you have some debts in the collection above a certain amount, then you cannot leave. Basically, if there's a court order, okay, you cannot leave the country. But there are loopholes. Okay, you can leave through Belarus. You can drive to Minsk, and they don't check in Minsk. You just can fly out. And there is certain ceiling. Before, if you have debt before a certain amount, then there's not much they can do. You still can leave. So they lower in the ceiling, and they closing down the border with Minsk, with Belarus. So these loopholes are getting eliminated. But I am waiting for more and more cases of Russian men who are denied leaving Russia. There have been a few cases over the past 3 days. Have rumors. I think they're true, but they're not confirmed. Okay, and to me, that's an indicator that it has started. Moving on. Another indicator is Ukrainian intelligence. It's been given reports that Russian security service KGB has started closing the borders on some directions, or actually tightening securities on the borders. Now, if it was regular time, if it wasn't for war, I wouldn't trust Ukrainian intelligence. That was before. But you know what? Ukrainian intelligence has been right many times recently, and I trust it. I think that there is fire, small fire, as in Russia we say, there is no smoke, never smoke without fire. So the fire is there. Ukrainian intelligence is reporting, and it's trustworthy. Now, has been quite a few statements by Russian politicians, and some of them can be taken seriously, because some politicians acting as clowns, they make statements that, how do I say that, shouldn't be taken seriously. But this guy, Alexander Bostrykin, he is the head of Следственный комитет, the head of prosecutor's office of Russia. I quote, he said, "It's advisable to consider the priority of sending naturalized citizens to participate in a special military operation. Over the past 5 years, more than 1 million people who arrived to Russia from Central Asia and Transcaucasia have acquired Russian citizenships. So therefore, it's, they are subjects of mobilization." This is serious. They're trying to find more resources, as they say, basically more people to mobilize. They calming our society, identifying new people, new groups for mobilization, and freshly acquired citizens, freshly created citizens of Russia. It's one of such categories. Only I have news for Alexander Bostrykin. Well, let me tell you something. I can tell for Uzbekistan, because I live in Uzbekistan, lots of naturalized Russian citizens who were born and raised in Uzbekistan, Uzbeks, gaining Russian citizen as their second citizenship. They came back to Uzbekistan. They work as taxi cab drivers. They work as construction workers. I have seen numerous people like that. And when they hear I'm from Moscow, I'm from Russia, they say, "Oh, you know what? We're from Moscow too. We spent 15 years in Moscow, 10 years in Moscow, 5 years." And I always ask Russian citizens, "Oh yeah, Russian citizen, Russian." Left because I don't want to go and fight in Ukraine. And you know what? They're absolutely right. This is not their war, and this is not Russia's war. Russian people's war. It's the war of one person against Ukraine, and we don't want to fight it. So it's going to be quite difficult for Alexander Bostrykin and a bunch to actually mobilize this category of citizens. Although what they can do is they can close the border for these people, but to leave they will use their second passport, Uzbek passport. They will trick Russian government. Moving on. Another indicator sign for me is that there have been changes or talks and actions to change the way how Russians are mobilized. You see, right now, the people, Russian men, are subject to conscription are from age of 18 to age 27. Well, what what is obvious? What is obvious to do to increase this corridor, age corridor? Okay, what they've done is Sergei Shoigu, when he said that the Russian army needs to be increased by 350,000 men, he also said that the age group must be changed. Not from 18 to 27, but from 21 to 30. So move up a little bit. Because 18 is too young and so forth. And a lot of politicians started considering this as reality. They started working on it, and now they're trying to change the law. There's a federal law called mobilization law, right? They're trying to change it to clearly state new ages of people subjects to not mobilization but conscription, to draft. Except for this one little trick. You know, if you deal with the Russian government, you also must expect it to trick you. And it's tricking you. One of the top politicians came out recently, a couple days ago, and he made a statement. He said, the next conscription, which is about to start in April, I believe, will affect all men age 18 to 30. So it's not 21 to 30. They upped the ceiling from 27 to 30, but they didn't up the floor. So they just added 3 more years, so to speak, into this age corridor. Do you see where I'm getting at? Russian government lies left and right, and people just somehow buying it. Okay, so he said that this conscription in April, in the spring of 2023, we will use this scale from 18 to 30, but the next one in the fall will be from 21 to 30. Okay, this is amazing. I don't really know how to comment that, because this is an outright lie. It reminds me of a situation when Vladimir Putin came out and said that he found, that was a long time, but 10, 12 years ago, he said that he found a situation when Russian car owners pay double vehicle tax. Okay, in Russia, every year you pay tax for your car, as in most countries, right? And the tax depends on how many horsepowers you have in your car, the engine, the power of your engine. And a long time ago, Vladimir Putin said it's not fair, because there are some car owners that do not drive as much, but they pay equal amount of tax. So therefore, tax needs to be moved, transferred from from car owners paying it directly to the government to excises in the price of gas. Meaning, the more gas you buy, the more you drive, the more tax you pay. But if you don't drive, then you just don't pay any tax on your vehicle. Sounds reasonable, right? And they did just that. They added an extra excise tax, and they called it transportation tax, excise, or something like that. But then one little thing happened. They forgot to eliminate transportation tax, the vehicle tax. So we started paying excise tax that is included in the price of gas, and we still keep on paying the vehicle tax. This is robbery, but in Russians simply bought it. They swallowed it, and that's it. So the same situation is happening now. let's increase, well, let's change the age corridor from 18 to 27 to 21 to 30. But then, it's ends up being 18 to 30. Okay, same thing. But the thing is, the talks about that are very real, and they are changing existing law right now in the Russian parliament. So that's why I consider it as a sign of upcoming mobilization. The Minister of Defense meant business when he said to increase Russian army by 350,000 people. The actions of this increase have started. You can't just draft 350,000 more people overnight just like that. It's a process that takes time, but the first steps have already started. Moving on. Training centers that were used heavily in October and in September, they're gradually being released from the mobilized, meaning the people who were mobilized in September and October, they went to the training centers, but now the training centers are getting emptied out because most are out of the training and are in the trenches, in the front lines in Ukraine. So military personnel, well, there are started many vacancies started appearing for extra military personnel for mobilization and training centers. And that's a sign that they are increasing capacity of these centers. Why would they increase capacity? Because they expect many more people to come and get training there. So that's another sign. Moving on. This is a very interesting sign. You will not find in the news anywhere. It's actually first mobilization. Russian government made many mistakes. Okay, one of the mistakes was the publicity. Instead of trying to do it covertly, silently, they were just doing it publicly. This time they're trying to not to make that mistake, and they try to use more of civilian personnel for mobilization. They tried it in Moscow in September, in late September and in October. You see, there's one juggernaut company that takes care of infrastructure work, sweeping the streets, taking care of the apartment blocks, sort of a utility company, and it employs I think over 100,000 people. Just Moscow is an incredibly large city. It's a huge megapolis, and is over 20 million people live there. So therefore, lots of apartment blocks, lots of roads to clean, lots of trash to remove, and so forth. So there's this huge company. I don't want to call its name. It's quite known in Moscow. But mobilization center people used civilian personnel of that company. They basically gave janitors, plumbers, electricians these documents called повестkas, and the people were just walking around and giving them these documents to different men. Now they're expanding this practice. I think they liked it. They found it effective, I guess. And they are preparing a larger scale participation of this company in mobilization procedures. The thing is, it's really hard to keep it silent because the mobilization people can keep their mouths shut, right? But the people, the civilians who work, the plumbers, the janitors, they probably don't. So therefore, they share this information. They release it leaks. Okay, so there are leaks all over that the Russian authorities are preparing this civilian personnel to take participation in this next phase of mobilization. This is very real information. Another another sign is that all employees are banned of this company, juggernaut company, are banned from taking vacations in January and in February. Well, guess why? Moving on. Another sign is that there are reports all over in the media. The reports that the students and the university staff are asked to urgently come to the universities to pass the verification of military records. An order from university administration was sent, orders from different university administrations were sent to the students of the universities and to the staff. The, you can't, this stuff cannot be concealed. It's leaked all over. And if I heard one news report, I would question it. On two news reports, I would question it. But if I hear a dozen, it definitely something is going on. Moving on. Another sign that is small but huge, I find it huge, is that over the last week, 7 days, right after the end of the holidays in Russia, and I remind you, the 9th of January was the first working day in Russia. So in the last week, several hundred ads appeared just in Moscow, appeared in large online job seeking resources, personnel seeking resources. So several hundred ads appeared for search of employees responsible for military registration, booking of employees of private companies, and interaction with military enlistment officers, mobilization officers. This is it. This is happening. Okay, they need more people because they need to increase the pipeline of moving people from being civilians to being mobilized ones. Moving on. Another sign is Belarus. Belarus is a different state, but it's not. It's not sovereign state. It depends on Russia. Belarus president is a Russian puppet, and he does what Russia says, what basically Vladimir Putin says. And Belarus is getting ready for big mobilization. There's been signs all over country obliging Belarusians to show up at the mobilization offices and register and, present themselves for verification and so forth. Moving on, another sign is lots of paper documents, повестkas. I'll remind you, this is how mobilization in Russia works. They knock on your door, you open, and there's a representative of a mobilization office, and usually the police officer right next to him, and they ask you by name, and they give you, they serve you the paper. And it's basically like, A5 paper, A5 size, half of A4, and it says your name on it, and it obliges you to show up at the mobilization center at this time on this day. So the thing is, if we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people, right, you need hundreds of thousands of papers, documents, and you cannot print them at the printers at the mobilization offices. If we're talking about tens of thousands of повестkas, then you need to go to a print house and have professionals print them out. And again, you can conceal this information if you're part of the government, but if you work for a print house, then you leak because you're not obliged to keep this secret. I've seen numerous pictures, photographs of huge stacks of повестkas ready to be filled. They basically fill the name by hand and the date and time by hand. Everything else is pre-printed. So it's a fact. It's there. Okay, you cannot hide it. I've seen it with my own eyes. That's a huge sign. Small sign, but hugely important and crucial in my eyes. Okay, moving on. Another sign is the super system is ready. I said that the debated database that Vladimir Putin ordered to develop, consolidate smaller databases of different government bodies on people into one huge super database, it's done. The reports coming from all over that it's operational, and it's just basically it's a digital Iron Curtain. It's Iron Curtain 2.0, and it's ready to be descended. Another sign, moving on. People are still being mobilized, not as massively as 3 months ago, but they're still getting mobilized. That proves the point that mobilization has not been stopped. It still continues. Okay, there are reports from all over Russia. Again, it's not en masse. People are being taken and mobilized, but the reports, they keep on coming, that people getting mobilized and sent to the training centers. Moving on, another sign is that there's a change in military leadership. As you know, a couple days ago, Vladimir Putin changed the guy who was leading the so-called special military operation, who he had just appointed 3 months prior. And there's a new leader, a general major, I think, or general lieutenant. Anyway, he was the head chief of staff of Russian Ministry of Defense, Russian Army, and now he leads the top dog. You know, now he leads the special military operation. And the previous guy, he was not fired, but he was demoted to become the deputy of this new guy. So this new leadership, very strange move. It just shows that the previous guy was appointed to be made a scapegoat for leaving Kherson. That was his order, his decision. Oh well, whatever. The thing is, the new leadership needs to show action. And different actions, they come in different forms, and I'm pretty sure that action number one, or among the first ones, will be mobilization. Not open and massive, so to speak, not public, but mobilization that is executed like by stepping stones. Moving on, another sign. It's a very interesting sign. Russian Ministry of Defense has ordered hundreds of thousands of new uniforms to be made in China and in Vietnam. And at this point, it has received most of the uniforms. The quality of the uniforms is a completely different issue. The military personnel who actually tried uniforms there are appalled because the uniforms don't hold, okay? But it doesn't matter really to the Ministry of Defense. The order has been completed. The goal has been achieved, met, and they have hundreds of thousands of new uniforms. And this is the question. Why do you need new uniforms if you don't plan to announce new mobilization, new phase of mobilization, right? Well, the answer to this question is pretty obvious. We all know why. Moving on, and the last sign is that over the past 3 months, there has been emphasis to people who are subject of possible mobilization and who weren't mobilized in the first phase, but it was made very clear to many, well, most mobilized, the people who weren't mobilized, but the subjects of mobilizations, that they cannot leave the country or they cannot leave the province without permission of the mobilization center. If they need to leave or they want to leave, they must go to the mobilization center, get a special permission. There's a certain form, there's a protocol, and they must state where they're going, what the reason is, and where can they be found in case the mobilization center needs to find them. Without this paper, it's really difficult to cross the border of Russia these days, and if they catch you leaving to another province without notifying mobilization center, you're subject to prosecution. Prosecutions vary, but you are still legally subject of prosecution. These signs, again, to some Russians, they seem small and non-important, but to me, they're crucial, they're huge, and in my head, they create a large picture of what is happening right now and what is coming and right around the corner. I still stand on the date that I gave before. January 17th is when I expect this next phase, active phase, to start. It's not going to be announced in papers. It's not going to be announced directly to Russian public in speeches of the president or minister of defense of Russian Federation, but we will know that it starts because there will be a slew of reports in independent media, Russian media, about how Russians are not being let out of the country, how, people are served повестkas again, and so forth. One more sign I need to add to this is this. Before, only people were subject of denial to leave Russian Federation who were under court order and under proceedings of collectors, okay? Now, there's a new rule that anyone who has past due, collector's not even there. They're not even closed. There hasn't been any court order, but if you past due on your credit at bank, then you are subject of, they're not gonna let you out of Russia. This new document is in the development. It's been created by the central bank leadership, Central Bank of Russia, and we will see how it pans out into a new law and how the border patrol people are going to be handling this order from Russia's central bank. So again, to summarize, I think that mobilization has already started. Small steps, but they have started. Big steps and mass mobilization is right around the corner. It will not be made public. No one is going to announce it. Moreover, they're going to act like nothing is happening, like everything is normal as usual. But it will start happening very, very soon. We will know about that for sure, because this is not a needle in a hay of stack. You cannot hide it, it's going to be all over. And it's right around the corner. Thank you so much. That has been my message for today. I find it very important. I definitely keep watching the news every single day. I learn of new events, and that's something I watch very closely. So you can count on me giving you updates as things change and they start happening. Okay? Before I turn on the comments, I would like to ask you two things. Please help me spread my message by making reposts in social media and sign up for my Telegram channel called Inside Konstantin's Russia. I give announcements, updates. Sometimes I live stream behind the scenes type of thing materials. So please sign up. Thank you so much. I also give extra materials in sponsorship section of YouTube and on my Patreon page. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to deliver another message. I'm turning on the comments. Not the most comfortable position right now. It's a very uncomfortable chair. I'm, squished here. But that's okay. Moving to a new location tomorrow. We'll try to make it a little more comfortable. Before I jump into the questions, comments, I want to tell you that another thing has started in Russia, and that is economical landslide, huge landslide. We are already in the perfect economic storm. We started feeling the loss of oil revenue that started happening in the beginning of December. It's here, my friends. It's here. It's happening. And in early February, it'll worsen because not only countries will stop buying Russian oil, they will stop buying Russian diesel and Russian gasoline. And that's going to be even a bigger blow. So my Sunday stream, I'm going to make about this very important topic. And the thing is, there's no way out. Basically, it's one way down, and Russia started sliding. So I want you to take, if you heard any experts saying, oh, Russia is doing great, Russian ruble is strong, strongest, better than ever, best performing currency, oh, Russia is fantastic, shopping centers are open, people are shopping, there's no lack of everything, there's no shortage, there's no deficit. I want you to take their words and shove it up down their throats, because we in Russia are officially in the middle, well, on the outskirts of the perfect economic storm. Okay, jumping into the comments. I specifically turned on comments to let you know that I was moving my stream by 30 minutes. I was having technical difficulties to set up here in this new location. So thank you very much for coming all. I see that, as usual, Lorna and Mommy in here, and mods, Black Cat, Bob S. I'm not seeing Harry or Amir, but anyway, they'll show up later. So mods, thank you, howdy, howdy, and everyone, the usual suspects are here. Howdy, howdy. Micah Schultz, thank you for joining Patreon. I saw that in the messages. kind of crazy. I can't respond to the messages or anything like that right now because I'm running around, trying to do fun things with my son and wife, and have very little time left for streams, to prepare for streams and for usual things. A plus Russian, another marathon session. Yep, you're absolutely right. This is exactly what it is. It's a marathon session. Thank you. By the way, can you hear me well? Am I perhaps too quiet or too loud? Amir is here. Howdy, howdy. 5 by 5. Thank you. Okay, good. So, as usual, if you want me to notice your message, please put it in caps and put inside Russia after @ so it appears in a large orange box for me. Thank you. 90H2100. Oh, there you go, Donna. I got it from Beverly Hills. Howdy, howdy, Donna. Good to see you. Good to see everyone. Pacific Beach, California. Quite a few people from California. Dirk, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I have not seen one tree painted white. I specifically try to look for them. Palm trees, no, they don't paint white. The super chat from Jason Carney. Jason, thank you so much again from me and my family. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Very generous. Dirk, please do not stream on your vacation. Take a break. Dirk, I feel really out of sorts when I don't stream. Let me tell you more about it in a couple of minutes. Caesars, thank you so much. How would you comment on appointing Valery Gerasimov? Like I said, it's a very strange situation. You know what I think? I think that Vladimir Putin, it's a known fact that he has been managing this war or special this military event himself. Okay, there are rumors about that, and I believe them. And I think at this point he understands that he's not a military expert, and he's commander in chief just because this constitution of Russian Federation says so, not because he has exceptional achievements in military science. So I think that's a sign that Vladimir Putin gives power to control the conduct of this operation into the hands of the military, the generals, because the Gerasimov is the top general of the generals. Okay, he's the chief of staff, and now he's in command. This is just my thought. This is one of the possibilities. Of course, there's a possibility that there is no logic whatsoever. There's a decision was made like that, like something like, why not? Why don't we appoint Valery Gerasimov? Perhaps that's what happened. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But experts are saying that he's appointed, and this is a sign of large changes into military strategy, huge mobilization, and Russia trying to throw Ukrainians back, push Ukrainians back by throwing more and more Russian soldiers on the front lines, overwhelm Ukrainians, so to speak. So, Caesars, that's all in all, I think it's not good. Thank you so much. Bob Brennan, Constantine, enjoy your time with your family in Dubai. Thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate huge support from me and my wife and kid. Dubai is a very expensive city, and just to go have a dinner, it's like $100. Trying to, I'm not pinching pennies, but I'm trying to be reasonable here, So money helps. Thank you. Mets fan, the Who won't get fooled again. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. It's not a question; it's a statement, and can't argue with that. Jason Carney has given the gift of sponsorship to 5 people. Thank you so much, Jason. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You're like the champion or hero of super chatting, the supporting. Thank you so much. Dirk, that was your suggestion not to stream on vacation. I feel out of sorts not streaming because I can't say that I'm addicted, but when I skip streaming, I inside something feels like something is really, really wrong. Okay, by 2 reasons. I'm physically used to stream every single day, and the second reason is there are so many things happening every single day. They happen, and I miss opportunity to share about these important things. And if I miss one day, I can't make up in other days. And that really is unsettling me. That's why I decided to stream here. Hopefully you understand. That's why. Not very comfortable because this is not a place very convenient for streaming. Tor Arn, have a nice holiday, Constantine. Thank you, thank you so much. Having a great time. Like I said, hotel is really good. Fantastic. Moving to a different location tomorrow. We've had fantastic time here at the aqua park, and just all in all, it's been very therapeutic. I'm also feeling very strange. Um, my friends, I don't even know how to explain how I'm feeling really. Uh, all right, this place is. We're not just staying at the hotel, right? We went to Dubai Mall, which is a huge place. We went out for walks and promenades, and we meet people from all over the world because this is Dubai. This is sort of New York, so to speak. People from all over the world, from all over Europe, lots of from the UK. There are Americans, and it's been such a long time since I've been to the Western countries, 6 or 7 years, and I'm not used to this kind of attitude. Moreover, I feel guilty as I look at these people. The bottom line is they're so nice. They smile all the time. They go out of their way, and I'm not talking about staff. I'm talking about the guests of the hotel. One of the guests came to us today. We were at the arcade. I took Michael to the arcade, and a fellow just gave Michael a water gun, saying, "Hey, listen, we're leaving tomorrow. We don't need it. Would you like?" And he has a son like 7 years old, 7 or 8. It's like a huge water gun. It's like, "Do you need it?" And Michael was so excited. It's like, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." Thing like that is unimaginable in Russia. I'm not used to things like that. Okay, and then they kind of normal here, and then people go out of their way to be pleasant and nice to you. I feel so different here than in Russia, and I feel like I am among normal people with normal values. Okay, I'm like back to normal world, and It's kind of like blowing my head up because in Russia it feels different. The more I stay outside of Russia and the farther I go, the better picture of my country that I used to love so much is written in my head, you know. Um, and the picture is not becoming brighter. So I'm feeling very strange. I'm feeling like I'm surrounded by normal people with normal values, with good values, you know. We constantly keep on discussing with my wife just this, okay, and because it's such a novelty to us. I mean, I lived in the United States for 9 years. Don't get me wrong. I remember people. I remember society. I am the holder of these values, but it's just I'm so not used to being around these people. So it's really, really strange. Couple super chats. Jason Carney, another $50. Well, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Hey, if I can do anything for you, you know, just let me know. Thank you. Ole John Bjorkum, thank you so much. Inside Russia, money for you to not look like a British golf tourist in Spain. Yes, the sweater tied around the shoulders like that, often just to show off richness. They just like the golf. Okay, thank you so much. Look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, well, we're moving out of here, and day after, well, tomorrow, I'm gonna go. I have an appointment at a certain place um, to fix my computer. Okay, I'm gonna buy something else. Okay, look, I don't usually pay much attention to my attire. If I like something, I keep on wearing it. You know, like if I like a shirt, I buy like a few shorts like that, and I keep on wearing them. Like I liked this T-shirt I found at I think it's a Zara's brand or something like that, and I bought four of them, and I keep on changing them every day. But I'm not big about like having a huge wardrobe and stuff like that. It drives Natasha crazy because she's not like me. And the second thing is, I left Russia in 36 hours. You know, I did not have much time to prepare, and I didn't have much luggage to take everything with me. So I took the very basic stuff. So basically, what I want to do, one of the reasons I came to Dubai is great shopping here. I want to refresh my wardrobe, so to speak, and I'll definitely do that within a couple days. So I promise you, I will not do that after tomorrow. Thank you so much for your support. Mets fan, hey Konstantin, are you concerned of any Russian agents that may try to quiet you in your message? It's a very difficult question. I wasn't. I wasn't, and Lorna and Mommy were kind of fixing my brains about that. You know, thank you. Thank you so much. You see, I am pretty vocal. I am not speaking, you know, I don't make you read between the lines anymore because I feel much safer than I felt in Russia. But in reality, I guess it's really easy to silence me. I might accidentally fall out of the window or drink a wrong kind of tea with polonium or whatever, you know. The thing is, I just started realizing that because people kind of opening my eyes about this. and it's becoming more and more of a concern. I'd say every day. I know Lorna and Mommy are listening right now, but they are actually two people who started opening my eyes. I don't really know what to do next. I really don't. I take it. I only live once. I will definitely not shut up. I will keep on making myself clear and heard. What can I do to conceal myself? Not much. They can find me in Uzbekistan in minutes, okay? Because I'm not underground. I'm not hiding someplace in the mountains, okay? Basically, I don't. I'm getting more concerned, but I really don't know what to do because if, let's say, I don't give public locations where I am at at certain at certain time. But if a professional agent would like to find me, I guarantee you, he'd find me in a matter of minutes. Okay, so I really don't know. Judith Moody, thank you so much. Thank you. No message, but this is pretty strong and powerful message. Thank you. Something fell down. I don't know. Can you see people behind me? They're acting like I'm not here. It's crazy. Jump into the questions. Stephen, more spin from the Kremlin, more truth from Mr. K. Well, Stephen, I'm doing the best I can. Analyzing, then talking about that. Paying them white for Dirk. I'll be arrested. That's the last thing I need in Dubai to get arrested. Janice Burgess, another interesting stream. Thank you. It's scrape. Oh, scapegoat. I thought it's scapegoat. Thank you. Scapegoat. Point taken. Steve Armstrong, howdy, howdy. From Indiana in the USA. Howdy, Stephen. Bruno, welcome to low. Microphone has a jet lag probably. Oh, volume too low. Okay, point taken. I will speak a little. Somehow my tongue is tired. I can't speak out loud. I don't know why. Isabel, it's a huge economical slide and it will be even bigger. Bigger than you can find in this aqua park of Dubai. Yep, yep. Isabella and everyone. The thing about the economy is, in the last few days, all Russian experts have started talking about Russian economy. Oh, Russian economy is not doing well. Oh, it's a perfect storm. Oh, this. Oh, we don't sell like Russian oil costing $36 per barrel right now. And you know what? I was just talking about Natasha, and I want to tell them all, no shit, geniuses. And any normal economist saw it coming 6 months, 7 months before. And it seems like all Russians are just woke up. Oh, what's going on? Our economy is in shambles. Wait a second. Oh, this is bad. This is tragic. No shit. This is tragedy, right? This is tsunami. It finally has come. So, oh, Bob S. AliExpress is selling many pages of Russian uniforms. Well, that's probably leftovers or side orders of what they have been delivering to the Russian army. Richard Burris, thank you so much. Jeffrey S., thank you. Tereslav, thank you for the updates. Wish we had better news for everyone. Breaks my heart. Thank you. Deb Shepler, would you have time to show us some of Dubai while you're there? Deb, I have tons of footage of Dubai because I film a lot. Um, the thing is, if I put something onto this channel, on the main channel, people don't watch it because most of my audience, they're not interested in Dubai, they're not interested in like travels and so forth. They come for different reason. And the videos, like my Uzbekistan videos, they're decent, they're interesting, but they're like 20,000 views. No one watches them. So I've decided to keep on putting content from Dubai onto for the sponsors and for Patreons. So if you want to see, please sign up for Patreon. You can go as low as $1 per month. You know, it's not much money, but you will see the some of the videos. I want to upload a breakfast or dinner buffet, for that matter, tomorrow. Tomorrow, sometimes at the daytime. I would like to upload Aqua Park walkthrough next, and I have tons of footage of this hotel that I find absolutely amazing. I will do that after I'm out of this hotel, which is soon. And Dubai is absolutely this. I call it the city of dreams, but I guess I'm not right about that. It's the city of marvels. I find it absolutely marvelous because this is the best engineering in the world, the best humanity has ever come with. It's just this place is inspirational, plain and simple. We have a new sponsor, Scion. Welcome to Deep Inside Russia. Thank you so much for joining sponsorship program. Ken Nicholson, thank you. No message, but $10 is message strong enough. Thank you, Ken. Alvin, uh, is soldiers' food for Russian troops so bad as to affect strength of the soldiers? Alvin, I have no clue. I have no clue what they eat. No idea. Tom W., do you know of people, friends who stayed in Russia and now regret it? Yes, I do. Quite a few. Not regret it, but they regret. Quite a few Russians cannot leave. They have sick parents. They don't have money. They don't have courage. They don't have money and courage and things like that. So I do know quite a few people. Ferrari guy, maybe a video of interviews with fellow Russians in Dubai if that opportunity becomes available. Ferrari guy, I'm trying to stay away from Russians. This is a very uneasy feeling. Most of Russians here in this hotel are from Moscow, from Russia. They're rich. A lot of them. I think this is my opinion, but I think quite a few of them profiteer from war. I overheard few conversations. They support what Russia is doing to Ukraine, and they come here to have vacation. What the fudge, you know? I don't want to even approach people like that. I would spit on them, but I don't know, not just try to not ruin this whole vacation for my wife and kid, you know. But I would definitely bring this issue up with them. Um, if I was alone, if I was under a little different circumstances. So I definitely don't want to interview them. And honestly, daytime, I try to unplug. I still go through the news, but I don't try to stay away from YouTube because this is vacation after all. You know, I try to salvage as much time as possible. And if I started interviewing, and this is work, this is, you know, people don't realize, but this is real work and a lot of it. And if I started doing that, that would take my entire day or days. Jekyll N, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Nathan Sprenger, and please no videos of grocery stores. Those get boring quickly. Well, I don't do videos of grocery stores. The only reason I did videos of shopping malls and grocery stores back in Russia to show the angle, how Russians shop, how their shopping habits are affected by war, you know, how Russian economy is affected, how the shopping malls, which is kind of the very first early indicator of how things going economically in the country, at least in Russia, you know. I did videos of those just to show, for the sake of showing like how Russia was changing in times of military operations. But I mean, I don't usually watch. I don't film stores and I don't show them. You don't need Dubai stores. I mean, come on, come to Dubai and check out stores. They're very expensive. Everything is very expensive here, but everything is high quality. I bought tons of tea, by the way. I bought Twinings English breakfast, twice as cheap as in Tashkent, and I bought Yorkshire blend by Taylors of Harrogate. So we'll try that. Isabel, so happy the Lorna and Mommy beat at you, stubborn bum. Bum, Constantine, so you're out of there. Uh, yes, they actually do a wonderful job. I'm very thankful to them. Fenella Brewer, what are you doing about Michael's education? He's doing preschool. I'm teaching him English very, very actively now. We're teaching him how to read and write in English and in Russian. I read him tons of books. I take him to different places to show them, to show him, you know, mountains in Uzbekistan, Dubai, and then I'll take him to different buildings and show how everything works and try to extend his horizons. And he starts school next September, this coming September. We have plans for him, but they're private. I don't want to voice them here. Hell Porter, people have run through their savings, put off bills for a month or two. I'm not sure what it means. A lot of us have lost incomes. A lot of us have run through their savings. And there are rumors that we're going to lose all our property, all our assets in Russia. Russian government is going to confiscate it, simply rob us of what we had worked for. Oh well. Huao, howdy howdy. Russian economy has been removed from European economy. It has lost at any and at all influence. So when the last purchase of Europe of gas and oil is made, the process will be done. Well, absolutely. This is not a question. This is a statement. But the thing is, so few Russians understand that. Russian propaganda is ringing the bell saying, oh, everything is great. You see, our stores are full of stuff. Oh, economy is working. Oh, we are going strong as ever. Ruble is strong. We are switched from away from American dollar into Chinese yuan. Little do they know that they're gonna be had by China soon, you know. A. Cohen, volume okay, maybe problem on listeners' earphone loudspeakers. Thank you so much. Robin Schaffer, your orange t-shirt icon button makes it easy for me to find your channel among my subscriptions. Good wardrobe choice. Uh, Robin, I picked that picture specifically because it just stands out among everything else. That me on the picture about 10 years ago, a little slimmer, a little younger, but I had that T-shirt for quite some time and I loved it. One of those things I kept on wearing. I had a couple of those, and I made my button specifically for that reason, to stand out among other channels. Because I had one before, you remember, Letters to King, kind of blackish. It didn't stand out, but this one, it just jumps out, you know. Tom W. No stinky substance. Go Constantine. I enjoy the plain talk. You see, I enjoy the plain talk as well, but some people write me comments after that and afterwards and say, hey, we get offended by these words. You shouldn't say them out loud because you're in public. So I try to keep them to minimum. Please do a report of all those sons of Soviet leaders and where they are. They call those who leave traitors, but are their sons going to war? Rochelle, this is a very good topic. The thing is, it's very toxic. If I cover sons of daughters of Vladimir Putin, sons of Dmitry Medvedev, there's much to cover. Trust me, I know the information. But if I say stuff like that out publicly, then I'd really should start worrying about someone coming after me because they wouldn't like it. I'm debating. I don't know what to do on this thing. This is a very dangerous topic to play with. It's like fire. It might burn me. I didn't know Constantine speaks French. A little bit. I understand when I'm in France. I understand. I usually understand what people say. I get, gist of like what the ideas are, but not everything. But at least at the restaurants, I understand what the waiter's telling me and things like that. John Alexander, thank you so much. Palvier Flex, it's going to be a huge demographic slide. Russia is so screwed in so many ways, economically, demographically, culturally, sports, athletically. There are so many people left. I was talking to my wife, and she's a regular at the Breakfast Club, right? She came, she met all the people, they welcomed her, and we talk a lot, and she told me that she enjoys going and meeting everyone there because it's intellectually pleasing to be among those people. She does not get this feeling when in Moscow, but in Tashkent at the Breakfast Club, she does. She organized mastermind, just at the uh, blink of an eye, I guess, yeah. Snap of a finger, like this. She said, listen, I am very good at transitional situations. I can coach and I do masterminds. Anyone of you interested? And they're like 5 people right away. Boom. She's doing mastermind with them. She says that people are just absolutely fantastic. So not only huge demographic slide, but other slides as well. I don't. Russia is falling apart. There are so many problems, and the thing is, now January, early 23. This is when it finally starts hitting. I've been talking about that for 10 months. Hey, it's coming, in this problem, and that problem, and this problem, and they finally are here. Okay, but anyone who has a little bit of brain in their heads in Russia could understand that it was coming. Unfortunately, most people, I guess, they don't have anything in their heads anymore. Something happened to them. Craig Hughes, you probably more at risk from the Z fanatics than FSB. I don't know. I don't think I'm a target of Z fanatics because most of them don't speak English, and they don't know who I am. They watch the Russian YouTubers who speak Russian, like Varlamov, like Dude, but those folks are not in Russia, and I think their hate is aimed towards those guys. But I am under the radar for the Z fanatics. They don't speak English. Jasper Potting Face, Janine. Here in Great Britain, we know the threat is real. London and Salisbury are two examples in recent times. You know what? This is dark humor, English humor, I think. But Janine, let me tell you this. A lot of people reach me out and ask for help, they ask questions. We were in Tashkent a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden, this telephone call. And I pick it up, and there's a guy, it's like, Konstantin, my name is such and such. I gotta meet you, you know. I said, why don't you come to breakfast tomorrow? No, 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 we just were fresh off the boat. How did you find me? A guy in Moscow suggested he knows that your community in Tashkent, you know, he suggested I contact you. I said, well, what is so urgent? We just came from Kazakhstan, we crossed the border, we rented a hotel for a couple nights. We have questions to you. I said, okay, why don't you come? We're going to dine at one of the restaurants. Why don't you just join me for dinner? So these two guys show up. They're, you know, we're just have a conversation. I don't remember what the questions were. Not hugely important, you know. But the guy is like, let's exchange the contacts. Please write my telephone number, and I put his telephone number and the contacts in my phone, and he tells me, well, my last name is Petrov. And then this his friend is very quiet. He just sits there, eats most of the time, you know. And I'm like, wait a second, don't tell me his last name is Bashirov. Because, you know what? I'd really get suspicious now if you said that Petrov and Bashirov. Janine, I think you know who they are. Okay. That was pretty funny. And then I nicknamed them Petrov and Bashirov. They come to the Breakfast Club. And then, you know, also tell Petrov and Bashirov are here. But it's a good joke. We all laugh, you know. Jeffrey S. Free Friday dating advice and Saturday for Rostov-on-Doners. Well, my friends, Jeffrey S. is a fantastic member of this community. He's a usual suspect. He's been here with us, I don't know for how long. He makes great jokes, conversations, but just don't ever take his dating advice, okay? Life, Konstantin, hi life, a long time no see. Konstantin, do you know the song Oida, Svobod, Ingria, Inkri in Finnish? No, I do not. To my shame, I do not. Janice Burgess, off topic, but I was wondering if everyone heard that Lisa Marie Presley died of a heart attack yesterday, only 54, so young. Uh, we heard this morning, it made the news here in Dubai, and it made news in Russia. So now I get news from two sources, from United Arab Emirates and from Russia. It's really strange. But it made news everywhere, all over the world. Very strange. Elvis bloodline is very tragic because look, he was under addiction for a long time. Then his daughter died at 54, and his grandson, Lisa Marie's son, committed suicide at like 20 something. So very strange. Mets fan, we're all saying is give peace a chance. Yes. John Doe, great question. Do you feel like a refugee? 100%. I feel like a refugee. I don't feel like a refugee that is living in a tent in a camp, but I feel like a person who lost his country, lost the past, and not a good feeling. But lately, I've been shifting my sight towards the future. I've been looking forward rather than all of us like constantly going backwards and looking backwards and grieving and feeling sad and bad about that. M- my outlook is changing a little bit, but 100% I'm feeling like a refugee. Um, Ole John, give to a hotel worker that's obviously not citizen as they barely work. Certainly not such low level work. Foreign workers live miserably. I knew one. Gotta park far away and walk underground tunnel. Tourists don't have to see their normal clothes. I've been trying to understand how Dubai works. I've been trying to talk to workers. Now, thank you so much for this money. It's pretty generous. Ole John, I will give to a person um, who I will find, is definitely needs that. In yesterday's stream, I said about a conversation I had with one of the workers here, a waiter. He came and he made small talk. You know, I know a thing or two about hospitality myself because I've worked in hospitality for a long time. Well, I'm fairly intelligent, so I understand how to talk to people, customers, to make them happy, to make them feel happy, and so forth. I've been teaching people how to do that. And this guy, he comes over and he makes small talk once, twice. He gives a couple extra like attention details. He asks if he can bring something for my kid, and it's very nice. And I see this guy, and I strike a conversation with him. I ask him how he likes where he's from Philippines. He likes working here. Like I asked him like straight. I said, "Are you here? Like, do you have passport? Can you go back home at any time?" He said, "Yes." He has his passport. Like no one is holding him here, and he can go back at any time. I asked him if he would like to go back, and he started laughing. He said, "The only way I go back to Philippines is if they deport me from Dubai." But he said I watch very closely, like so not to get deported. They have special visas and everything. Anyway, he said that this hotel he works for is absolutely great. He makes lots of money in tips. His work conditions, he doesn't work too much 10-hour work shifts. He works in the morning and at night. He gets breaks during daytime, and he's very happy about his job. He said in Philippines he's a rich man, and he would never go back to live there like at his will. I take it there are different kinds of workers, construction workers, workers that, like you said, hidden from our eyes. I'm moving out of this hotel and I'm gonna meet lots of people at Dubai Marina, Dubai downtown, and not just in the city, And I will find the person who really needs the money. I'll give it to him. Thank you so much. Cyan, my Russian fiancé broke up with me due to difficulties with the war. I am from EU. All of this is breaking my heart. Your streams have helped to keep me sane during all this. My deep thanks to you. Uh, I'm so sorry. It's not just you. It's not just you. It's happening all over Russia. Families are broken. We know two families that are in the process of divorce because of that. Husband supports the war, wife doesn't support. Um, this is a case in the family, in a couple cases in the family, in my immediate family. Not me and my wife, thank God, but like close circle of our family. They're not getting divorced, but they get lots of fights about that. And marriage is not an easy thing, let me tell you. Marriage is compromising. Marriage is giving in to your spouse, caring for your spouse. When this issue comes in into play, issue of that you support Russia or your wife supports Ukraine or vice versa, this is just making everything so much more difficult. And again, I'm so sorry. I don't understand why people support this war. How can you support killing innocent people? What can be the reasons? I have yet to be given one single reason that I can find understandable. Okay, so I could hear it say, okay, now I understand why. I understand where you're coming from. I have not heard one single reason. People give me fake reasons. Oh, it's the West against us. And then they cannot justify, they cannot prove it. Whatever they say, they cannot prove. Anyway, I am so sorry about that. It's just, when it gets personal, this is just incredibly bad. I don't know what to say. Check time, says Bob S. Time is up. Okay. Prayer time. My friends, looks like I left my prayer book in Tashkent. Uh, so I don't remember the names by heart. I apologize. I'll just pray for everyone in general, if you can let me. So I'll pray the best I can. Let's pray. Please join me in prayer. No tea here. Well, there's plenty of tea, but not at this moment. Um, Thank you for another super chat. Dieses Beatlers, Beitlers. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. There's no message, but this message by itself is huge. Thank you. I take it you're from either, most likely you're from the Baltics. Every time I hear someone saying something nice or let alone super chatting from the Baltics, it really warms my heart knowing that such a difficult history we have, our countries have. Thank you so much. Anyway, please join me in prayer. Let's do it. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables. Thank you for giving roofs over our heads. Please help our children, keep them healthy and safe. Give us wisdom to lead them with example so they grow up with values that are better than ours and with much love that's bigger than ours and make this world a better place. Please help stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out and touch people's hearts who can make this decision to stop the bloodshed. So they wake up one day and they see what they have done and they will stop the bloodshed and they will be fixing the situation after that. Please help all the Ukrainians who have been affected by this terrible war. Answer all their prayers and make their wishes come true. Please send an angel to every single Ukrainian so everyone is kept away from harm's way. Please help my country, Russia, send the army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, to get rid of the demon and demons that have hijacked my country. Make it shine, please. Make it right, make it good neighbor, and make it peaceful. God bless everyone who is helping Ukrainians, opening their wallets, their homes, their hearts. Please help everyone who is traveling, send safe travels. Help everyone who's seeking for political asylum or for asylum, running from fear for his or her life. Please send help and good people their way. Please send help to those who are with families traveling, running, trying to find new life. They need your help. Please help them. Help those who are hungry. Please give them food. Those who are homeless, give them shelter. Those who are sick, give them recovery. And those who are having troubles with the faith, give them strength and reinforcement. Thank you so much for allowing us to come together here and pray. Thank you for shining the light upon us. Without your light, we would be lost and we would not be happy. Thank you, dear God, for that. I would like to ask you to give us wisdom, all of us, to bring peace to our countries, to behave the way that all our countries are friends, not enemies, not at war, but just a great communications. Thank you so much. I would like to ask for all people who are sick, please help them recovery. With recovery, send them recovery. I would like to ask you for pregnant women who are trying to decide whether to keep their babies or not. Uh, Please reach out to every single woman uh, in a situation who's pregnant and talk to her, whisper into her ear so she makes the right choice. And please send every woman in this position help. Please send her support of her family, of their families and the loved ones, because they really, really need that. Thank you so much for allowing us to come into this community and to pray together. Please help everyone who is praying right now and or just watching us pray, wishing well to other people. Please answer their prayers and make their wishes come true. I would like to ask for a few special children. There are Cadence, Sebastian, Maverick, Theo, Marty. Please send them recovery. They are waiting for your miracle and their families waiting for your help. I would like to ask for all children of Ukraine who have been affected by this terrible tragedy that is happening right now. Surround them with your love, surround them with your care. Send every single child angel and please help them in the way you know how to help them. A lot of children in Russia also have been affected by this tragedy. Help them as well. I have a list of people who have reached out and asked me for help. I'm asking for each one of them. You know who they are, and you know them better than I do. You know their wishes better than I do. So I'm asking, please help. Make everyone's wish come true, and hear everyone's prayer and request for help. Thank you so much, dear God. Our Lord Jesus Christ, amen. May peace be with all of us. Thank you. Thank you so much, my friends, for coming again. Saturday, tomorrow, private stream for patrons and sponsors. It's going to be earlier, around 10 p.m. Tashkent, 9 p.m. Dubai. And I would like to speak on economic situation in this perfect economic storm. Oil that is being traded at $38 per barrel, which is kind of a disaster for Russia. So I'd like to speak on that on Sunday. Thank you so very much for coming again. Thank you for seeing me, giving me a chance to speak. You are absolutely awesome, and you all rock. And before I go, the usual, Carthago delenda est.